right. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. If you guys and girls would just let me know if you can hear me okay, and we'll get started. Good afternoon, Batman. Or, well, let's see, what is it for you? I think you're a few hours the other direction for me, so it's probably evening. So, what I have got before me, my bandmates and I have tracked a new song this evening, and I'm probably a little bit quieter than usual. My wife is already asleep, and I'm just doing the best I can. Am I even in focus? Not that it really matters. Let's see. That's focused enough. So I wanted to review the drum tracks from today. Again, this is a new song of ours called Prayers for the North. It's a song about Vikings and things that Vikings did and like to do, or whatever the correct term is. I've already done a rough balance. The guitar that's on this is completely scratch. I think I threw it together really quick right before Edward came over and recorded his drum parts. And Jason came over shortly after after the drums were recorded, and he did his bass for today. So the guitars are hot garbage, but the drums and bass are pretty good. Eddie did 6 takes, I believe. 7 p.m., good deal. He did 6 takes, I think. No, I've got 5 takes, sorry. I think we did 6, but we scrapped one of them. All of them were pretty good, but the way that we typically go about our writing is a little bit awkward. I think we tend to fine-tune things once we get to the recording phase, as we're paying a lot more attention to how things do or don't gel together. So I wanted to go over his parts tonight and see if we can get a good comp. If there's any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Before I get into the comping phase, what I'd like to do is take a look at the first kick transient on each of these, and just make sure that they are lined up. So I'm going to take my, like I said, well, I guess it's self-explanatory, but the first kick of each take and line it up as best I can with the grid. For those who are new to this, I have got my tracks grouped at the track level, so what I'm doing on each of these takes, and I'm using fixed media items or fixed lanes or whatever it's called. I still haven't come to grips with what to actually call that, but everything is moving along each of the other tracks as I do this, just in the kick lane. So now I've got my first transient lined up with each one, and what I'd like to do is listen to sections of this and just start to comp based on what sounds best for each section. So since I'm working with the fixed item lanes, I'll just right click my first one, and I will go to comping, and then comp into new empty lane, automatically creating comp areas. This creates this track C1, which I don't know why that's blue, and my phone is going off now. It's not important. Don't know why that's blue. I've got to go back and fix something. Well, maybe because my blue track was selected. So let's find out which one this actually is. There we go. So I was just on the wrong lane. I'd like to start with my first take, and we'll start to kind of listen and be able to audition the different pieces and see what we feel like works best. This first verse is pretty subdued, so it's just kind of hi-hat, kick, and snare. We'll skip my poor playing on the first part here, and just take a listen to this first verse. One thing that we talked about a lot while we were recording this was the kick pattern, and I wanted to find something that was pretty consistent. I think that first pass probably was not, and I'm going to turn on this metronome. I believe I've got it set to where you can't hear it on your side, so if you do hear the metronome and it's bothersome, just throw something in chat and let me know what's up. So I want to kind of pay attention to this kick pattern here. I also want to switch my, well, I think I'll leave my grid at 1/8, and we'll just see what shakes here. Let's listen again. actually sounds pretty consistent there. Okay, so that first pass was not bad at all. I want to take a listen to the second take, and I'm not actually going to do any editing on this until the comping is finished. So my primary objective right now is just creating a comp from the different drum takes and making sure that I've got the performance that I want, and then I'll go through and I'll edit the comp. Let's see here. Am I doing any processing on the drums on the way in? No, I am not. If you wanted to hear those drums with nothing, let me disable all of my plugins here. And this is going to be really quiet, obviously, but here is the, well, let me find a part that's got some more drums here. Here's the raw drums. Probably a little too quiet for you to hear, but so most of what I'm doing is just compression. I'll set my levels to where I get a decent signal without clipping, and of course, as I said, since it's not passing through any plugins or any analog gear, it's relatively quiet, and I'm just doing some compression and a little bit of EQ at the moment to help get some better levels for the stream and just so I can listen to without having to crank the volume up really high. I don't have any outboard gear to be able to run anything, run it through anything. I guess I could put it on some plugins, but as a general rule, we don't. Let's try this second pass and see what this one sounds like. Let's see. Hey, there is Brendan. Is this what you tracked? Yes, this is what I tracked earlier today. And feel free to hang out for a bit, guys. Brendan or Technokai or whatever the heck he's going by in the comments now. Is a friend who lives nearby, and he is the singer and guitarist for a band called Goat City. You ought to check him out. Dude's voice is absolutely amazing, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. Oh, got that soloed, sorry. It seems that the kick pattern on this one is very sporadic. Really, any of these could go, but I think I'm being a little bit nitpicky about the kick pattern. Let's try the next few. I'm kind of digging this one because it's more consistent. Until he hit right there. Okay, I think I'll go with that one. I know that I've got 2 more takes to look at. Well, let's just look at them by eyeball. That next one may actually be a little bit more consistent. Shoot. So let's try number 4. And again, if anybody's got any questions, feel free to throw them up in chat. This will get a little bit more exciting once we get past this intro. I think this was the take where I accidentally had the click turned off for him. One more. Let's try the last take on this. They all sound pretty good though. I just need the one that is the most like what I want naturally. Sounds so cool. Okay, I think I like that take best for the intro, but I need to pick a different one for this build. So I will. I've got my comping turned on here, and I'm just gonna. How do I want to do this? I guess I could do a split right here, and then. Actually move that split back just a hair. Then switch to another take. Except for the fact that he's got a hat hit there that doesn't work. Okay, so here's where we can get a little bit nitpicky about the next take, and I remember liking take 3 just in general, so let's take a listen to 3. I really like that take, but I want to try to experiment a little bit with the fill that he does at the end. So maybe we'll just try right there at measure 63 on through until we hit the verse. Really help if I turned off my snapping, so let's try that. Don't like that one. I definitely like the end of that one. Timing issues on that one. So right now I think it's a combination of 2 and 3. That fill was pretty nice. So let's go back into number 2. What do you guys think? I'm thinking a combination. I really like that fill at the end of this one. See? So let's try going back to 2 and then the last bit of 5 and see how that feels. Nope. that won't work. Don't like that. What we got here? Setting up Sun's kick drum for certain parts of a song after comping and editing. Duplicate the kick drum and blend in where needed. You mean just to try to... Let me reread this here. Oh, fattening up. I missed the fattening up part. Context is important. Eddie hits pretty solid. I don't usually have to worry too much about doing a lot with his kicks and whatnot. I think I'm gonna have to go with one solid take on this. So it's gonna be between 2 and 3. I think I like that one because of the that one accent that he does. It's really cool. It's more of a like on an upbeat. Okay, I think I am ready to move on to the next one. I don't know why that one is there. What is up with that? Oh, because I did the split right there, I think. So let's try from the interlude and just make sure that feels pretty good. I think that I like all of that particular take in the interlude. But at the same time, I haven't tried any of the other ones, and I have to. So let's try splitting the comp area there. And just because I want to, I'll go ahead and, well, no, I'm not going to slip edit that yet. Let's try some of the other takes here and see what that feels like with a different one. Okay, yeah, I'll let it slide. That's out of time, but I need to keep my process together and not start slip editing anything yet. I like that fill right there. Now I want to hear one of the other ones. Later, Holmes. All these are pretty solid. I could really go with any of those and it'd be fine. Now, I did not like when he does that China there. I wanted that part to be completely empty. As far as swapping the takes, it really depends on the performer. In Eddie's case, he's fairly consistent, and also changing your when you're switching to takes, you've got to make sure to find a place where it makes sense to swap. Like you may have noticed, and you may have stepped away when I did this, but there was another part where I liked a certain take, but I ended up not using it because he had hit a cymbal and it sounded chopped off when I changed takes. So I would say there's probably a small amount of trickery in it. I'm going to paint in another take here and see how that feels. Nope. Got a crash there. And, well, actually, that's a perfect example right there. This take change is not smooth. You hear that crash that he hit on that one. So let's try another one. That one's good. I think that will work fine for there. And back that up a hair. And we are ready for the next verse, which I realize this is probably a little boring to listen to without the lyrics, but I'll live stream myself singing to this later once I get everything comped and get the guitars recorded. Let's try starting off with number 3. Want to move that up just a touch. Now I'll have to do some automation here. He was hitting the pedal on the hats that whole time, and it sounds really cool. But of course I've got the hats turned down because they're really loud in other places. I'll turn it up for this verse. Just gonna go with this take. Sounds fine. Now I'll probably need to be a little bit nitpicky about this section, and I want to make sure that I get whichever one was the most on time. So I'll grab this section. And I should be able to split that. Whoops, that didn't work the way I intended. Now, if memory serves, I can do that. And let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Okay, so let's test a few of these. Always come back home. Now I think I want to audition what he did for fills at the end of this section. So let's just try a few of these and see what they sound like. Nope. Don't know what happened there. Was that a mess up, or is it my gating? I think maybe he just wasn't sure what he was doing there. So let's try another take. That simple one may work. I mean, it's not bad. It's a toss up between 3 and 5. They're the same thing, but let me audition them again. I think I want to audition a few other takes here. Let's take a listen to 5 here. Yeah, I'm very curious about that whole interface issue. I am willing to bet you just had the wrong driver selected. Because about the only way that Reaper would not show your what do you call them? Your inputs. Like if you've got your right driver selected, unless you have truncated this list accidentally, it should give you access to all of your inputs and outputs. I think I'm kind of liking this. Since he was so consistent, I'm not having to do a whole lot of take swapping here. I'm anxious to get to this next part, though. Now I'm wanting to audition a little bit of this, because I think he did some different variations on fills at the end of that phrase. I think I will start around measure 126, and we'll audition, let's just try take 5, up to the break. And 4, is that 4? Yeah, let's try 4. Ooh, I like that one a lot. I think I may go with that. I do still want to check out the others just to be sure I didn't miss some gold in there somewhere. I don't want to use that triplet fill because we have a tendency to use that a lot. Let's see here. I think I preferred the ending from this one. Just got to find where it is. So let's try that. That was pretty nice, but I don't think that's the right take. Well, let's try the next one. Whoops. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's go back to this interlude and figure out our lives. Need to scrutinize that crossfade point there for just a moment. May need to take this back. Let's see. Yeah, that sounded better because I think he hit the same crash on that other take and it bled over, whatever the right word is. It moved over into the next section. It felt a little bit more seamless by moving that back just a touch. This sounds so weird without the other guitar part. And without the vocals. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's chop this part up. Ooh, did not mean to do that. At least I don't think I did. Okay, there we go. I must have hit the wrong key. So let's try another section here. Number 4 I'm going to avoid as much as possible. I'm pretty sure that's the one where I accidentally had the click turned off. I feel about those toms there. I think I wanted this part a lot simpler because it builds quite a bit from there. What is up, Jameson? Timing's wonky on that. I'll end up having to do a lot of editing to that, so let's try the next one. That one's pretty solid. Let me check number 3 again. Oh, I do not like that. I think I'm liking 2 with the occasional 3. Let me try painting in 3 right there and see if that works. Move that crossfade just a hair. Yeah, I've got a mic on the head. Everything that you see down here, with the exception of the folder tracks, is an actual mic. So I'm using a single kick mic. I've got a snare top and bottom, a mic for each of the toms. I've got a spot mic on the hat and the ride, plus the overheads, and then I've got a couple of room mics as well. I always mic my hat. I don't always use it in the mix, but if I mic the hat, I can automate it up or down where there's more intricate hat work. So I'd rather have it and not need it than the other way around. Of course, with this type of music, when he starts to hit the hats a lot heavier, it picks up a lot in the overheads, and at that point I can just automate the volume down on the hats. I'm going to need to use a little bit more of this pink, or number 3 rather. Let's see if I can find a good point to change back over. That sounds good there. Yeah, that snare is my Joey Jordison Pearl. Let's see, that was off a bit there, but it's probably just because that kick transient's not lined up yet. And that is correct. So let me slip this just a little bit over. And let's figure out our first stage of build here. I've got 24 in and 24 out. I am running, let me see if I can get this over here on the screen. I've got the Audient Evo, what is that? Evo 16 with 2 SP8s, so I've got 24 ins and 24 outs. Okay, so we'll probably need to audition a few different ones here. I know we talked a lot about how this should build as we were recording it, and there's this one kick pattern that we want to only show up in the last iteration before this marker that says Odin Prayer. Maybe I'll let you hear this, but like as we played it live a couple of weeks ago before we hop off here today. Let's try. I think I want to add another split here at Odin Prayer. Oops, if I can get my mouse to behave. I'll split the comp area there, and let's try a different take here. No, that's number 4. That's the one with the bad metronome. So let's try 3. Which may be what I was just on. Okay, see. I think right there is what I'm not liking, so I want to try. What do I want to try? I want to try a different take, but maybe from measure 154. Just try switching to 5 there for a little bit, and I'm just arbitrarily picking a section to test. So should have made notes when we were recording. I like that turnaround a lot better than the one that he did with the double snare hit. I think I accidentally trimmed off a kick, but that'll all get fixed a little bit later when I actually start editing. Okay, right there he started on that kick pattern early, so I think I want to switch to take number 5 at 163. Let's see, that ends. My math is not good, so we'll just play it by ear. I think that was where he wanted to do that kick pattern, but let's move that over and try to finish that out with that same take and see how that sounds. I want to test one of the other ones and see if he had that pattern there, because I really wish that he had a crash in one spot there. Let's try 3. Cool, he got the crash. crash in there. Yeah, I like that one better. This part's supposed to have feedback, but I did my scratch guitars just with a plug-in, so no live amps yet. I'll probably have to segment this part out to make sure that our builds are going appropriately. So right here at 203, let's try painting in number 5. Slipped a kick again, so I'll just back that up a touch. What the devil? Oh, he actually missed hitting the kick right there. Let's try a different take. Let's try something else here at 219, just because. I'm just guesstimating again. Ooh, I like that. Let's back up a hair. It's most definitely running through a plug-in, and there are certain parts where I can easily tell I'm not running through a live amp, mainly because I'm not getting the feedback that I need. In this case, meaning literal feedback, like I need to have my amp, what's the word I'm looking for, pickups close enough to the amp to where it produces a squealing, nasty feedback. That's going to be a bit of a harsh cut right there, but I'll have to fix that up a little bit later. And I'm going to go against my better judgment and slightly slip edit this already, just so that hit lines up. Need to try to find the take where he there's some accents there that he was hitting. That ain't it. That ain't it. Brendan, you should definitely try miking up a cab sometime. It's a little bit challenging, but you'll get some really good results, and I'm willing to bet you'll play differently too. The interesting psychological effect. I wonder how that would sound if we switched back to a straight pattern there. Let's find out if we can find one. Move that over. I'm just experimenting now with different compositions. Yeah, it's gonna have to move dangerously close to that. I may have to try that, because I mean, I don't totally object if it allows me to get the sound that I need while my wife is in the other room and it doesn't bother her. I think I've got that comp done pretty well. If you guys will humor me for a minute, let me get a little something pulled up here and I'll let you hear what that song kind of sounds like as played live. Let me get it queued up over here on my other screen, and then I'll move it over here where you can see it. Alright, let's get this over here. Now I gotta reconfigure my screens real quick. Okay, and I need to make sure that this sound is coming through, so this will take just a second. So what this is this is the song that, well, that you just heard in its recording, but this is from when we played at a show a couple of weeks ago. The name of the song is Prayers for the North, and it's about Vikings. Let me know if this is way too loud. It's cell phone audio, you can't expect too much. probably should have given an epilepsy warning with those flashing lights. That's Jason Robertson on bass. I gotta work on not flailing my picking hand around so much. Tighter motions. I love this part. It sounds like video game music. I mean, his name is Bathrobe Dave. It's part of his character. There we go. So that was the song that we recorded today, or at least recorded drums. I suppose next I'll need to clean up these drums a little bit more. I want to run through this composition real quick and make sure that I'm done with it. And perhaps we'll save the actual drum editing for another session. But let's see what we got. I definitely am ready to re-record these guitars. But it was a scratch track that was literally done right before he came over to record drums. Thank you. Got a couple of takes on the bass here that I'll comp another time. kind of nitpicky, but I want to look back at this one section and see if he has an extra snare hit on one of these takes. Let's find out. Nope, I'm on the wrong track. I need to extend my snare top there. I feel like I forgot how to use a mouse. Dang dyslexia. There we go. Yeah, looks like I got a couple of snare hits on a few of the other takes. So let's try number 5 there and see how that feels. I know that seemed like not that big of a deal, but that one extra snare hit made a tremendous difference for me, and I think I want to possibly switch back to one of the others for the tail end of that. I don't like that transition into the next piece. Let's try one of these other ones. That's good there. Bring that head up again. Sure I know what that symbol means, but it looks cool. Reminds me of Tank Girl. Bring those hats back down. Welcome aboard, sir. I wish we had more ghost notes in this section. I'm hearing something that's kind of bugging me now. It'll take me a second to find it now, but right about there. I'm realizing I've done nothing to my ride, and I need to shave off some low end. That ride is very washy, which I like, but its low end is very pronounced and it needs to have a good bit shaved off. Yeah, that should help brighten that up a touch. Now I'm hearing one little thing in there that bothers me, and he's got one crash that only happens once and it defies the pattern. So now I gotta check and see if there's another one that may work better. I gotta try. So let's try take 5 there. Right there. I'll just see what's in it. That actually works. That got rid of that one crash that I didn't care for. And still sounds good, even though I just picked a random spot to swap takes. This is the part where I'm supposed to be screaming like a madman in the background, but we're not that far yet. That's good. I like the comp a lot, so all that's left is to do some editing and make sure everything is lined up pretty well. I'll disable my comping mode, and at this point I usually like to make a copy. Let's see. Thank you. Comp into a new copy of this lane, so I'll do that, and just name this one drum editing. which is difficult to see. But my reason for doing that is so this way I've got a pristine copy of the comp before I touch it. And for those of you who are unaware, I really like using the fixed item lanes over the traditional takes because no matter what I do to this, it does not affect the source material. So these original tracks down here from the takes, there's not any cuts in them whatsoever. That's kind of a big deal. So that way I can go ahead and edit this and not affect my source, but also I will not destroy my first comp idea. I can do a little bit of drum editing here. I'm kind of curious to maybe go into, let's see here, this interlude here. I'll just start at some random spot and do a small amount of editing and see if we can clean it up some. So starting here, get my slip editing mode turned on, and let's make our first cut. Get this first kick transient lined up. Those are mostly good. Did I make 2 cuts? No, that's not 2. Okay. And he did a pretty good job of staying on time with this, so whatever little bit of editing I do will be minor, and some of it will just be because I've pulled in different takes and whatnot, and that happens. Except for right here where this is all the same take and it's just off a little bit. And I've had people ask me a lot, like, is there a way to do this automatically, like Beat Detective and Pro Tools? And yes, there is, but I just prefer doing it manually because I feel like it sounds better. Yes, it takes longer, it's slower, but it's kind of relaxing, and like I said, I get better results this way. I'll go back and fine-tune all this a bit later, but I'm just kind of wanting to go through a small section real quick and get a rough idea of how long I should expect to have to spend editing this, so I can plan what day I want to do this. And my eyesight is not what it used to be, so this is sometimes just an act in patience. Those are pretty well on, ever so slightly off. They ain't got to be perfect, but they got to feel right. And if oh wait, let's see. Good night to you, Brendan. We will catch you in the near future. Rest well. I should be getting to bed myself. I got clinic in the morning, but won't be the first time I've gone to work tired. For those who have not watched me edit drums before, I tend to focus on the kick and the snare and then go back and mess with other stuff later as necessary. I don't grab every single hit. I just grab, I try to get as large of a section at a time as I can. Of course, with the understanding that, you know what I didn't do was make sure that my snare top and bottoms were lined up before I started, but I guess I'll get that later. What have we done here? Oh, I think that's where he did like a flam type of triplet fill thing. I guess if I switch my grid to 16ths, I can probably see better there. Yep, that's all it was. It's just 16ths. Tom that's slightly off there. That should get all that pretty well lined up. Looks like it may still be just a little bit off, starting with that tom there. And we'll see how that feels. Not 100% sure on that. think that one of those hits is a little bit off. I'll have to analyze that a bit more deeply some other time. Just want to finish this section and get on to bed. I definitely like having that extra snare hit in there. I missed the spot right there. And then all this needs to slide back just a hair. It's sounding pretty good. It's weird when you're like, it sounds pretty good, and then you go and realize that it's off. Not quite enough to hear, but once I start recording, like redoing my guitars, since these are scratch tracks, I want to make sure that I've got something reliable and predictable. It's interesting, like I've got the means for us to record all at the same time, since I can do 24 in and out. But my room is not, I mean, I've got the equipment, I should say, but I don't have the room set up for it, since this is just a single room. I've got no way to prevent a ridiculous amount of bleed. Okay, so that whole section needs to slide back. I wasn't sure which way that needed to go just yet. So. And then I gotta fix this crossfade at the end, which I've accidentally got 2 of them. So let's get rid of that section. Paint that backwards. And crossfade and slip edit. Probably a little bit more slip editing that needs to be done before that. Otherwise, that whole shift wouldn't have happened in the first place. And that kick's out of place, but I'm not sure which direction just yet. Switch back to 8th note so I can... Okay, so those toms are off just a little bit, and I think that's what's causing it. Let's try shifting that. And I'll need to slide that back to get those toms back in line, and that should get it. I think that sounded pretty good, so let me switch back to my normal editing mode, and we'll test drive that section, and then I think I'll call it an evening. That'll do it for now. That comp sounds pretty solid, so I just need to go back and finish editing the drums to make sure everything's as tight as it can be. Then we'll go back and re-record the guitars, and I need to get Bathrobe Dave to record his guitars, and then we can, I think I'll probably live stream doing the vocals and stuff. But that's all I got for this evening. Thank you guys for tuning in to another impromptu, unannounced live stream. I'm going to bed because I got to get ready for work in the morning. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again.